Hey guys, it's Kante here, and now we're going to... This is the episode where we end the story with the final boss with Dark Gaia, so we're controlling Gaia Colossus, and you can do punches like left, right, and you can move around, and then there's left punch and right punch, and then attack with both fists. That actually makes you... Ow. So when this guy attacks, what you do is move in the... What you do to dodge is move in the direction that Dark Gaia's arm is coming from, so that way you won't get in his way. And then when he lets his guard down, when he's let his guards down and doesn't have his hands right in front of him, then you attack. And here's where I have to go back because So that's what happens when you try to... Yeah. Okay, this is going well so far. So... Oh. So that's... So... Yeah, so he'll grab... Let me see if I can get him. The thing is, he grabs you, and then you have to do something to break free of the grip. And if he doesn't have, like, the force in his hands, then you can just grab him.
Roger that, buddy. Time for the big finale.
Okay. Let's continue on with Sonic. So the gameplay is pretty much normal with Sonic. It's like just playing as normal Sonic. You have a few obstacles to dodge, and then at the end, when Sonic runs up to attack Dark Gaia's eyes, you have to press a combination of 3 buttons before then. So it makes sure you get a little challenge in before you... Make sure to get a little challenge in, that's what it does, before you can strike a blow. And here... Okay, I'm kind of estranged as to how that didn't work. Like, I feel like it should have worked. Oh joy, I'm just getting pummeled, but this is just great. Now here I think I could just, like, burst through these. Okay, I take back what I said. So, the mechanics work a little... The mechanics aren't exactly... Like, it's kind of hard to speed through this, per se. You have to be cautious. Okay, don't ask me how I missed that. That's an oversight with the wall collision. Dang it. I'm just not having a good day. Good boy. A lot of maneuvering. You really can't go slowly through this. Now here you can go quickly. I mean, that's not exactly something you can go quickly through. You do have to kind of slow down and maneuver.
What's happening? It was broad daylight a minute ago.
Dark Gaia has regained its true power. The beast is complete. It's just as the Gaia manuscripts foretold, and the world shall be plunged into the dark of night, the dark of destruction. Oh, that it should come to this. We're doomed. The planet is lost.
That won't happen! There's no way Sonic will let it end like this!
Let's do it!
Okay, so looks like we're at the end with Supersonic, and
When the gauge is full, press the Y button.
yeah, so you see those targets on...
Control stick and press the L button or the R button to dash.
So, you see those targets that were showing up earlier? Like, those indicate that Dark Gaia has an eye open that I can attack. And basically what I'm gonna do is hit all 7 of his eyes. So, I'll wait for one of his eyes to open and then... Okay, what the heck? So sometimes his eyes open and close, so you can't hit them all the time. His eyes have to be wide open. Normally I would attack, but I'd like to have a reserve of rings, so... And before you attack, Dark Gaia, I think I'm going to obscure your vision a little bit. The thing is, I'd go for his middle eye now, but I can't do that because it's like permanently closed and it won't open until later. So I'm gonna move to the other side and continue on. The thing is, I'm kind of using a strategy The thing is, whenever you boost, it uses 10 rings. So what I'm gonna do is kind of like go slowly, collect as many rings as possible. I think the rings regenerate every time you use the supersonic boost. But it's good to have something. I think it's like good to have like a reserve of sorts every time you boost. So maybe I'll get like 20 rings and then go. Oh boy. Now this is where they the meteors start flying all over the place. It's especially troublesome with this one last eye. I'll show you. Of course, now I have to go all the way back to this darn guy. Oh, dang it. I'm gonna take a chance. Oh boy, have to dodge a lot of meteors. So I made it through with his arms okay. The thing is, he keeps swinging at you, and you have to get on the middle at that one attack. Otherwise, which is kind of hard to do, because it's kind of hard to move around with this guy. But at least that's done. We got an S ranking, which is good. And that's it for the storyline.
Pleasant morning, wouldn't you say, Doctor? You can simply begin your plans anew. Even if all of your efforts this last time were utterly wasted, even if it was a complete and utter humiliating loss, even the most pathetic loser in all the world will simply have his chance to...
Ah, the light reigns over darkness, and the world is returned to peace. It's simply a miracle. We've been saved by a miracle.
I told you, didn't I? There was no way Sonic would let something like that happen.
And right you were. Still, we cannot live without the night. We all must sleep. We all must rest. Darkness is a part of our world, just the same as light. It may be that the darkness has not been destroyed, but merely laid to rest. It grows strong over the eons, rises up, then is put to slumber by the light. Perhaps that is the true balance of dark and light Gaia. That balance may be the very will of the planet itself.
Save the speech for later. We've got to get things ready for Sonic's coming home party!
Sonic. Sonic, you must live.
Chip?
forget you. I'll be here by you, always. A part of the earth you tread.
Okay guys, so now that we're done with Sonic Unleashed, I'm kinda gonna discuss what I think about the game. I think, well, a lot of people say, like at least critics say that they like the daytime stages more than the Werehog, but it's actually like the reverse for me. Like, I know I enjoyed the stages, the daytime ones I mean, like when I was 12 and didn't like the Werehog ones as much, but I feel like now that I've gotten older, I kinda like some of the depth that the Werehog has, that the daytime stages doesn't have. I mean, with the daytime stages, you can just kind of just... Okay, I lost my train of thought. So anyway, the daytime stages, you can kind of just study the stage layouts, but the Werehog stages, especially with the combat, are more run on artificial intelligence, so it's a bit more random, and I think it requires a bit more skill, because you can't really study, you can't really like predict what the enemies are gonna do all the time. And I think with the Werehog stages, after playing this game for a while, the Werehog stages have actually stood the test of time better than the daytime stages for me. Well, they've been, it's kind of nice that, like with the combat, I feel like it's a lot deeper than the daytime stages, because there are different moves you can do. You can kind of goof around, like you can grab boxes and throw them at people, throw enemies at enemies, and do stuff like the Wereclaw and the Earthshaker to keep guys pinned. But the thing is, those moves are hard to execute, I'll admit, because they require combinations of buttons. And I think, like, the daytime stages, like, they are fun because they're fast, but... or at least they were when I first played this game, but, I mean, they get old once you study them. There's not much depth outside studying the stage layouts. So, yeah, and I noticed that the game actually has some pretty solid design, too. I mean, there are some exceptions sometimes when when a cutscene plays and the game doesn't save. Like, the game doesn't always save when cutscenes play, so if you, like, exit out of the game when certain cutscenes play, you'll have to watch them again. So that's kind of annoying because the cutscenes can take a few minutes and you can't skip them. But, and, like, speaking of the story, I think, like, the story, it's not perfect, but I think it does do its job. It, like, explains what's going on, why Sonic turns into the Werehog, and gives some more depth to the Sonic universe and about Mobius. And, like, I mean, it does explain, like, why Chip lost his memory, why Gaia was split all over the Earth. So, I think, even if, like, the voice acting jobs weren't the best, I think, like, people like Jason Griffith and the acting for Tails were just, like, not good. But they still... like, the plotline still works for what they're trying to do. And it's even kind of... It is even kind of funny. You have Orbot saying the line, "Your skill and self-aggrandizement is unparalleled," and it feels like they kind of developed the personalities of the villagers a little bit. I mean, you don't see much of them, but the villagers can provide a lot more depth to the world and kind of add some humor, too. So it's nice that they included them. So, also, I think the design, like, has a few issues, but it's not bad. I think, like, the controls do feel kind of loose to me in the daytime stages, and I think sometimes I've noticed a delay when, in the moves, when I notice, like, when the Werehog jumps, there's a bit of a delay, but that could be because, like, I'm like, looking at the game via recording software, so I'm not, like, having a TV screen in front of me, so that may explain it. And, like, there's, like, maybe 1 or 2 glitches I can name here, like, actually, 3, actually, but they don't really, but the glitches, like, aren't really that bothersome, and they're very few, I mean, especially considering that there's not really many I can name, and so the design isn't really much of a problem. A bit, but not too much. So, yeah, and with the lasting appeal, we haven't really exactly gotten there yet because I still have to do stuff like the S rank, like getting the S rankings, exploring the Gaia temples a bit more, and getting all the items. So, I'm gonna do that and then just keep going, doing 100% playthroughs. So, now you may be wondering how I like this game compared to the Xbox version of the game, but the problem is I don't really have any experience with the Xbox one, but from what I've seen, I think this is a more game inclined toward kids, and I think the Xbox version is more toward an older audience because I think it's more complex and a lot bigger. I can't really speak if it's better though, but anyway, this is it for now. Thanks for watching, and feel free to react as you wish. Not to mention, check out more stuff on my channel.
So send me a letter, let me know how you're doing. You are my lifetime and true friend. Will never be forgotten. Having trust is all we may need. You are always with me in the life I lead. So far, far away from life I used to know. Worries are too far to go. I will stop and close my eyes. Remember, end of the rainbow, I can take you, I will catch it for you. Memories you can recall with me any time of day. You can reach out, you can ask me in your soul. I will answer when you call me, I will come no matter how, 'cause we are very special friends.